Everybody. I decided to go live and do this video. Okay, I'm still in my little cleaning stuff. And cleaning. I'm just gonna have the phone sit like that. Um, I was just sitting here thinking about how people are so obsessed with something, and it's ruining the world. And these social apps are part of the blame, y'all. So we're going to wait till we get more people in here. Hopefully we will. Before I get started, I told y'all I do weekend videos. I hope I'm on the right channel. So, yeah, this is ruining the world, y'all. And I don't even think the creator wanted us to even have the mindset that like 90% of the mindset, 90% of the people in the world have this mindset. And it's ruining the world. Now I'm gonna wait till we get more people in here because I know some people want to come in, get the subject and leave. So I'll wait till we get more people in before I continue. We only got one person in here, so I'll wait. I'll wait maybe about 5 more minutes till we get more people in before I will actually get started on the main subject of this video. That way, people who stay in the video are actually here for the lesson and not to just run off with it. So this is a good time to get you a drink, a beverage or something. Make yourself comfortable because I'm about to go in on this, on the subject of this video. This video is something that a lot of people going to think is hogwash, but I'm telling you, it is literally one of the main secrets to just getting out of that feeling of purgatory and just really having the inner peace you always wanted. So this is what's ruining. Hi everybody. Hi Texas. Hi Texas. This is what's ruining the world and ruining everything, and I'm done with it. What's ruining the world is the grown-up mentality. Now I know people are gonna say that's hogwash. It is, y'all. What's ruining the world is this whole thing that I have to be in grown up energy. I have to do grown up stuff. I have to have grown up activities. I have to look at my life like a grown up. Um, Actually, y'all, I'm telling you, it's ruining the world. When you think in terms of grown up, you think of being serious. You think of mature, being sort of being inward in yourself, and not really just being free. You think of how you got to put your mind on money every day. You think of how you have to like go hard on taking care of your body all the time. You think of how you got to be extra mindful about everything. You're so careful not to make. You want to set this perfect, flawless example to everybody and anybody. You glamorize working for money all the time. You glamorize showing that you're mature. When mature is a matter of perspective. You know, somebody might say somebody's immature because they're free spirited. Meanwhile, that is still a part of maturity. There's a worldwide crisis of creative block because everyone's being too grown. People are trying to look older than they are. They're dressing older. They're wearing their hair and their face were older. There is literally 19-year-old guys trying hard to get mustaches and beards. There are young women dyeing their hair gray. Like this is starting to become a problem. Okay, people can't even just talk and laugh and joke because everyone wants to have serious conversations about all serious stuff all the time. That's that grown up energy. Grown up energy is becoming the new toxicity. that everyone is not realizing is toxic. You can't even joke or cut up in conversations because everyone wants to lead it back to what they're going through, their suffering, their trauma, their money issues, their health issues, endless complaints, because that's what grown-ups do. If you ever go to the nursing home, the old ladies, all they do is complain all day. That energy, that energy is becoming toxic. We don't even want to accept the seasons that we're in because we're grown. We're grown. We're grown. We're not allowed to be chubby like kids can be chubby. We're not allowed to be unkept or we failed because grown-ups don't look messy. Grown-ups is always well put together. See, all that is toxic. In the black community, you can't even walk around with frizzy hair or you're immature. You're not a black grown-up person. It's out of control, and I just want no part of it. I really don't want to hang out with people who are perfectionists or serious because I know that they're in that toxic grown-up energy. It's getting out of hand. It's, yeah, 24/7. You gotta dress to kill and dress up every day. If you don't dress up too many times, then your neighbors look at you like you're unkept, like you're irresponsible, like you're not grown. You can't even see your friends messy a couple days a week. Otherwise, you failed as a grown up. It's toxic. Exactly. You can't just throw on any old t-shirt and shorts and just be like, yeah, I'm good. If you do that like 2-3 days a week, you'll notice that there's people who don't want to talk to you no more. Cashiers are treating you differently. Your neighbors is acting different. Families acting different. Because everybody wants to prove, everybody's running on the same script that grown means this. Maybe some people don't want to be in grown energy all the time. It's exhausting. It's seriously exhausting following the modern day from the 1950s on, the 1950s script of what's grown. In the 1990s, we were like, nah, okay? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why people can't just kick back. Like, I think needs to actually be a representative. Snoop Doggy Dogg needs to be a community representative. He's an example of not being obsessed with being grown. He is literally not obsessed with it at all. Snoop will sit around, lay around, kick around, drink his fruit drinks, and just kick back, joke with people. He doesn't care. You never see Snoop really dressed to kill like that, all like that, not with the money he got. I don't know how we got to this being perfectionism of grownism. It's toxic. I think everyone's trying to avoid looking poor because, oh, you can't look poor when you're grown. No, you can't. It is so toxic. You can't even be basic. You cannot be basic when you're grown. Otherwise, you're not grown enough. I already know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. It's like everyone's like, you have to work out every day. You have to wake up, work out. You have to do something to make money every day. You have to look well put together. Your house has to be flawless. You need to have investments going on. You need to have some way where you're making steady money flow. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired. Maybe I don't want to do grown up chasing money for some months. Maybe I just want to do what is considered wasting my life as being a grown person. I noticed that when I started jumping in my car and running places in the morning a lot or running places, people want to talk to me more. Because it's like, oh, she's grown. She's running places. She's handling business. She's taking care. Why do I have to do that? Why can't I be out in my backyard a couple days a week blowing bubbles and playing with a hula hoop? Why do I got to always look like I'm handling business? I think it's toxic. I think it's toxic. Why can't I have cookouts every day? Why can't I throw the grill in my backyard and have cookouts and all we do is listen to music and jam for hours in the evening and all night and that's all we do? Why can't we do that anymore? We were doing that back in the 90s. Every day we were out in the yard drinking and turning up. Why is turning up now immature? Low vibrational. Who is this world to say that that's immature? You got to be sober. You can't eat sugar. If you're eating popsicles, you're not being grown. Kids eat popsicles. I'm tired of that mindset, y'all. If you do too many kid stuff, grown-ups don't want to be bothered with you. And you can't hang out with kids if you're grown because then everybody will start saying that you're creepy. So what can you do? Just be grown all the time even though you hate it? Really, I want to go back to having immature friends. I'm tired of mature friends. I'm literally tired of it. Everything is talk about problems. I know you have problems. I have problems. Kids even have problems. Why do we have to talk about them every day? Why can't we trade books? Why can't I read the book Talented Mr. Ripley and you read the book Beloved and we switch books sometime and then talk about what the book was about? Why can't we do that as grown-ups? Why it gotta be about Juru stuff or manifesting and starting a business? Why is that's so glamorous for grown-ups to always talk about ways to make money? There's other things to talk about. It is so mentally exhausting hearing how obsessed people have become with just making money. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. Why can't we sit down and have a drawing competition? Why can't we sit down and draw cartoon characters and see whose character looks more like the character? Why can't we do that as grown-ups? Why do we have to sit down and talk about Trump? Why do we have to sit and talk about community affairs? Why? The loneliness epidemic is getting bad because people are too obsessed with being grown and some people are sick of it. This loneliness epidemic is going to get worse because people are not entertaining anymore. They're draining with their grown-up mind addiction. Their grown-up obsession is so draining and it's making people boring. It's making people feel like they are in a life health class 24/7. I don't even think kids want to hang out around grown-ups now. Just listening to us is draining. I have not spoke to one adult on a regular that actually told me something that they did that they enjoyed. It's always the negative side of grown-ups. It's always the bragging about getting fancy cars or making more money or negativity. It's never about, yeah, I went to that new water park. Or, I started reading that new book, Crawford, the crawfish book. Nobody does that anymore. I try to send people funny videos. They say, nah, I'm good. I don't want that. I try to send a couple funny videos to family members. They don't even click on the videos. They don't even want to watch them. But if I send them a video about the latest way to make money, they'll watch that. I went on vacation and I literally tried to send funny videos to family members who was downstairs at the bed and breakfast or couldn't make it on the vacation, and they literally did not respond and did not click on the video. They were looking at me. My one family member was looking at me like I had mental health problems because I was supposed to be in grown-up energy on vacation, just sitting there saying, oh, I'm so glad to be off my job, the job. No, I don't want to talk about that. I try to do fun stuff. When we went to the science center, no, I don't want to play that game. I say that they say everybody can play this game in the science center, the kids and the grown up. Play this little game with me, the news reporter game. No, I'm not playing that game. I'm grown. I'm supposed to just walk around the science center. It was like, I can't do this no more. Grown-ups is paying $50 to go to the museum to walk around in silence, and that's it. There's no, ooh, oh, there's no, that would be nice to have, or look at the bone on that one, or I wonder that, nothing. It's just, nope, I'm too grown. I'm too grown to act excited about being at the museum. I'm too grown to be amazed by the Greek statues. It's like, I really miss hanging out with my daughter. She's starting to slip into that grown-up energy too. And I think she's trying to pull herself out of it because she says she's over it. She told me the other day, she said, I'm over being grown, Mom. I'm so over it, and I'm not even 25. She's like, I'm over it. I'm doing fun things with my money. She said, I'm over this. I'm over being grown. Hi, everybody. I'm going to get on video in a minute, y'all. I'm busting it. I've been cleaning. I got this top on with baby powder on it. It's hot. I'm going to get on video in a minute, but yeah, I'm over being grown. You know, I think people need to leave the grown energy at their job. Leave the grown energy at your 9-to-5 job and at your YouTube teaching channel. Leave the grown energy for raising your kids when you're dealing with something serious and you have to discipline them. Leave the grown energy for that. I think all else don't need grown energy. We don't need grown energy when we're going for our morning walk. We don't. I don't see adults on swings. I don't see adults on slides. I just don't see it. I don't hear no adults saying, let's go to Sandcastle. Adults are being very super insecure. I have never been in a time period of so many insecure adults that it is alarming. It's like now adults of the day is like, unless I'm positive I'm going to be the winner, I don't want to play the game. They don't want to play Sorry. They don't want to play Battleship. They don't want to play 21 Blackjack or the other card games that we used to play. They don't want to play it. The adults of the day is afraid of losing. They're afraid of showing their body at swimming. They don't even want to put on swimsuits. I'm an adult. I can't show my body when it has lumps in it. And I'm like, I can remember back in the day, there was 300-pound fat people, 300-pound obese, morbidly obese people still going swimming. But adults are just so in that energy that they have to have the ultimate glow up just to go back to their childhood. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I need to make sure I'm very close to my glow up before I start going roller skating again, before I start swimming again, before I start joining marathons. I don't want to be a chubby or obese woman running a marathon because I'll be the laughing stock. Let me tell you something. Even if you was in the 90s, you would have been the laughing stock if somebody wanted you to be the laughing stock. You're not escaping being the laughing stock. So just get out the grown up, get out the grown up energy, and go out there and accept that somebody might laugh at you. Grown ups are today are so protecting their emotions. They're like, I might step out of character, and then I might not be a grown up about it. So I'm just not going to do nothing that 20-year-olds will do. I see 35-year-olds doing things that 60-something-year-olds are doing. It is wild. It is wild that I literally see 35-year-olds looking like they're going on 50 because they're acting so old. I can remember how my body felt at 35. There's no way I would have been in 55-year-old energy. Like, I'm ready to retire. I'm a retired grown-up. It's wild. When I was in my 30s, I was having the time of my life. You would have thought I was 21. I was still running to the nightclubs. I was still out all night. I was turning up every chance I got. I was still going to my girlfriend's house several days a week and doing each other's hair, going to karaoke, going shopping and just cruise the mall. Now shopping is I need to shop for my glow up. I need to shop. This is what that people shop for now. I have to shop to prove that I can fake it till I make it. That's the new thing for shopping. When back in the day, shopping was like we did this for fun. But now it's like you got to do it because you have a goal. It's like, I don't want to go. I just want to shop because I'm having fun. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like, I want friends where I want to be like, yeah, let's like the movie Clueless. Let's just cruise the mall and have some fun. Let's even go into the kid store to see what funny kid toys they got out now. Yeah, let's do the sampling the little food they have. Let's try on the little perfume testers. I went into the perfume store with my daughter, and we was all in the childish energy. We went in Bath and Body Works. Every person that came in here was acting old. We was like all excited about the testers, like, yeah, smell this one. Ah. People seemed like they were so annoyed by our energy. And I felt like people was annoyed by my energy because I was grown in childish energy. And I'm like, but why is this childish? Why? Why is it childish? Like when I went to the science center and I went to the machines and I put quarters in there to see what would come out the little machines for a quarter, I had a couple of adults look over at me all weird. Like, those are for kids. Kids are supposed to put their quarter in there and get a stone. I was like, I'm going to put my quarter in these machines and get a stone. Y'all. I saw adult after adult walk right past the quarter machines. I guess they was too old to do it. I have a friend that's literally, they're in their 60s going on 19. That's how young at heart they are. And people be saying they got mental health problems. They say they ain't right in their head. People literally said, why are you hanging out with them, or why are you talking to them? You know they ain't right. And I'm like, how they ain't right? Like, because they refuse to act old, they don't want to act 65. Let me tell you, but and what's funny is that they look better than everybody they know. It don't matter who they introduce me to, they look better than the person. So that tells me that old gets you old. Like, this person never was out of shape. They was always ripped their whole life. They was always in shape their whole life. They don't even try to get in shape. They don't even go to the gym and be busting it out. They just automatically in shape because they acting like a child. That happy hormone is more powerful than people think it is. That happy hormone will straight get all the other hormones in check. Your cortisol is high, happy hormone. And I don't care what nobody say. The happiness of being grown and making money is nothing like the happiness of saying, I'm cool even if I don't got no money. Like kids feel. Kids be like, I only got $1 to get a candy bar. You don't see them complaining. I want to understand why grown-ups feel like they need to have more money than a kid, or they are not grown. Yeah. I'm trying to understand that. Like, I went in the store one time with a friend, and a friend of mine, me and the friend was like, oh, I only got a couple dollars. We're getting a bag of nuts and an iced tea. And I can see the energy shifting here, almost like, oh, we're broke. We're grown ups and we're broke. Okay. Meanwhile, we could have went to the bank and got more money. We both had money in the bank, but the money didn't define us. We wasn't trying to be grown. We was buying kid stuff. We was in the kid candy store. That's what we was in. But the grown-ups that was coming in with their kids and that was running the cash registers, they looked at us like we was broke. And I just remember that moment, how the energy shifted, all because we were both like, yeah, I only have $2. How many of you only have 3? Cool, that's all we want. We only want iced tea and some Cheetos. And the energy all shifted like, ew, they some broke grown-ups. And I just, oh my goodness. Like today when I went into the gas station, I went in and got me a cup of, because I'm alternating between coffee and amino acid in all natural energy drinks, the natural ones, you know, the ones that don't got the artificial stuff in it. Well, I went to get my little one coffee that I'm allowed to have on the weekends, and somebody said, "What, you on your way to work?" I looked at her like, why do I gotta be on my way to work because I came in for a cup of coffee? I started to say, why? Why can't I just run a cup of coffee and just literally just cruising in my car like we did as teenagers? When we was teenagers, sometimes we just got in the car and cruised around. We just stopped the car sometime and ran into a store we never been in. That's the energy I was in this morning. But I felt obligated to tell this person that I was going to work. It's just wow. It's just, I want to go back to the days where 20-year-olds, where we was in 20-year-old energy, where it's like, let's go to the mall and see what's on clearance. I literally don't see people coupled up doing that. It's either they're with their kids or they're by themselves. And they're there like, oh, I need some clothes for work, or I got a wedding to go to. It's like, why do you have to have some grown-up thing to do just to buy yourself something nice? It's even funny too when you look nice. Other grown-ups will be like, where you going? You going to somebody's party? It's like, no, I just want to look nice sometimes. Like, you know how we did as teenagers? Sometimes we had days where we looked nice and we was literally not going nowhere special, but to somebody's house to have a drink. You know, underage, but still to try out a beer that we never drank as teenagers. Why do I have to have somewhere important to go to look good? I'm just tired of the grown up stuff, and I'm just done. I'm cool. I'm relearning how to waste my life. That's my journey. I don't want scheduled deadlines of you have to get this book done at this time. No, I don't need a deadline. Deadlines is for grown-ups. Deadlines is for grown-ups. I don't need goals. Goals is for grown-ups. Goals are what is put in kids' heads. Kids don't even have goals until you tell them to get a goal. When kids join sports, they're joining sports because it's fun. But then their parents be like, you need to make this your goal. Like forcing the kids to be in grown-up energy. It's like, wow. Y'all, I don't think the younger generation gonna live long. The life expectancy is gonna go down to 60 and 70. The younger generation is acting too grown, too old, too soon. And they don't understand that the aging of your organs determine, how long you're really going to live, the health of your organs. If you don't get in no weird accidents or nobody hurt you in the worst way. So acting all old and grown and stiff and uptight, I mean, how many days does that take off your life? How many hours does it? Hours and minutes add up. That when people always thought I looked it much younger, is when I never acted grown. Like back in 2017, I looked 10 years, 15 years younger. Almost. I looked at the pictures. But I wasn't grown at all. I was right back to going dancing 2-3 nights a week. I was going shopping and buy myself nice stuff. Not because I was going somewhere special. I was hanging out with friends outside in the sunshine in my old neighborhood. It was just being and having fun. I was going roller skating, all night clubs. When I started to be like, yeah, I'm all about my YouTube, grown. I'm all about just like grown in my family. My body started to hurt. My body did not start hurting till a year ago. I had no body pain. And you would think I would have had body pain as old as I am. I didn't have no knee pain. I didn't have no back pain. None of that. I was dropping it like it's hot in my 40s. But once I started getting in a grown energy, then the years sped up in my health. Now I'm currently reversing the years, and I'm feeling quick improvements. Over the last week, I've been purposely wasting my life like a kid. And my inflammation is gone. I'm not having pains in my side. I'm not being so forgetful. I'm not so sensitive around adults. I'm not living in fear of what if I don't get no money. It's very peaceful. Grown-ups, we want to get things fast because we know too much about death. We know too much about stuff that we better off not knowing about. Ignorant really is bliss even when you're grown. Like, why did we need to know how long people live? Nobody need to know that. Why couldn't we just go through our life like, nah, I don't want to know this stuff. But they putting all this stuff on YouTube. What's the expectancy of women living and men living? And if you do this, what organ will go? And your odds of getting in an accident in your house. 10,000 ways to die. It's like, I don't want to know none of that. All that? No. I want my ignorance back. Everyone's saying they want their innocence back. I want my ignorance back. I want my ignorance of how majority of the male population see women. I want my ignorance back about how women see other women. I want that back. I want the ignorance back about what my mother's life was like when she was young. I don't want to know none of it. I don't want to know what happened during segregation. It's not happening right now. What do I need to know? Why did I need to know all that? I mean, if history is still affecting me right now, then I need to know it. But I don't see how segregation is actually affecting me right now. So I really did not need to know about John F. K. and Martin Luther King. I really don't need to know about that. What I'm gonna do? Prosecute every white person today for that stuff? No, I'm not. I can't live for yesterday, and I wasn't even born then. So I can only live for today. All this digging into history, all this instant access to toxic history on YouTube too, it's done. I'm tired of it. I want the information that kids would want. People who did the impossible, that was or seemed impossible. I want that information. Like kids say, yeah, somebody painted the whole Sistine Chapel. I want that. I don't want to know all the lives. It was how many terrorist attacks we had. No, see, then I'll be living in fear as a grown up. No, we can't go here. Paris is dangerous. UK is dangerous. No, we can't. Because what's going on? I don't want that paranoia. I want ignorance again. If it's my time, there's nothing more I can do about it. I can't be letting all this knowledge of world events put me in fear as a grown up. Most of the grown-ups are scared to really live their life. They're living in denial anyway. They're using 1,001 excuses as why they're not living their life. I don't have enough money. I'm too old. This world is dangerous. People hate me. I'm getting discriminated against. It's racist. It's sex, gender, racism going on. Someone's going to laugh at me. Somebody's going to put a video of me on YouTube. All that, that's all grown up thinking. Little kids is literally not thinking about any of that. So they put a video of you cutting up on YouTube. And I know there's videos of me on TikTok and Facebook. Because I've been to plenty of clubs, plenty of events during the cell phone time. And I saw cell phones out while I was dancing and cutting up on the dance floor. People were filming me. I didn't care. We like to believe that all celebrities are getting work done. Some of them aren't getting work done. They're not acting as grown as we think they're acting. They're only acting grown in their interviews. When they're not in those interviews, they in that childlike energy. People need to understand the power of the mind, how the mind can literally change your body. The mind is that strong. If you're thinking, oh, that's why trying to achieve goals if you call them goals, feel impossible and tiring and exhausting. If you're living a lifestyle of somebody old and grown, that's why mediocre goals seems impossible. You see the mediocre goals as difficult goals. Hi everybody. Somebody said Uno. Serious. Some men don't even want to date anymore because the women is acting like grandmas. They're either acting like grandmas, I'm keeping real, acting entitled, acting like they mom. When it's like, I wouldn't want to be a man in today's world because I know men when they go to their work job and they got to be so serious and hardcore grown. I know when they go get home, they don't want to be in that energy. But then we got women acting like that at home. So the men is like, women are draining. I'm just keeping it real. Men love my company. There's not one man that don't love my company. Because I am not about acting grown. I already know that that man went to his really hard grown job and probably had to work harder than every woman in there. So why am I going to bring that energy to him after work? I aim to entertain, to please, to make you laugh, to make you forget. I want you to forget that you're grown, according to the clock. That's my goal. I want to be real immature. I want us to be in some energy like we don't even know the number in our bank account. We don't even know how many lines we have on our face. We've never had a mirror. I want us to be in that type of energy where people think, are they crazy? Do they know what time period we in? How are they in that energy? I want to get that reaction from people when they see us together. I want people to almost think that we're ADHD. Y'all all over the place. Y'all don't got no self-control with how y'all acting. Are y'all ADHD? You know what? If you think I'm ADHD, I'm doing a damn good job of not being grown. Hi, everybody. Oh, hi, Benjamin. Women, stop acting so grown with these men. A lot of women say, I want a good man. A man don't want to think about man energy when he's not in man work. Men do like wild women. And I don't mean cheating women, wild women. And they love that. They love a woman that's saying, we ain't about working. When you with me, I don't care. Hey, we both, you can be wild as you want to be. You don't got to be the grown and mature man setting the ultimate example in the home all the damn time. Who feels like doing that? If you want to run around in your underwears all day, that's what kids do sometimes. Until you make them put clothes on, go right ahead. What is this whole thing where a man can't run around in his boxers all day? That's not classy. Put on some clothes. I'm the only one that's supposed to run around in my underwear. I sometimes I wonder if women are gatekeeping the childlike spirit. Like the men feel like if they laugh too hard, if they joke around, if they vibe too hard, you'll say they're feminine because they're not allowed to have a childish nature, or they're down low, or they're feminine. And I find that to be very disrespectful of men to even run with that. Hi, Benjamin. Have a great day. I don't want to just sit down and eat. I want to cut up while we're eating. Ain't that what kids do? Why do we have to be perfect eaters? Elbows off the table, perfect smell, close your mouth, no cutting up, have the ultimate class where you sit down and eat. It's just so much constraint and restraints on us as adults that it just makes us all hateful and bitter. It's just an infestation of bitterness and resentfulness that we can't even put a finger on. That it's like everyone's to blame. Every grown-up out here is to blame for this energy. Y'all, you can't even play karate fight unless you know karate. You have to know what you're doing to do anything nowadays. Now I was watching that movie Minecraft, and that movie made me remember how we weren't grown. I just love the way the grown-ups in there was not so grown. I don't think that grown-ups of today realize how important that movie is on a spiritual level for grown-ups. Grown-ups complain about kids playing video games when they can play video games with each other. I know grown-ups is like, I'm against video games. It's childish and it's toxic. And I'm like, we don't got to play video games every day, but why can't we play video games? Why does it have to be something that a grown-up shouldn't do? It's just wow. You know, we are so aware of our life because we're being grown. I can't tell you where the years went in my 30s. Can't tell you. I don't remember how fast they went because I was truly living. I can't tell you they were hard because they weren't hard. They went so fast. I was in such flow state of being young that there was nothing hard about them. So I was only making $10 an hour at my job, at my one job. And I had what I needed. I had a lot of my health. I had health. I had creativity. I had friends. I had food. I had decent clothes. I had a roof over my head. And I had lots of fun times. So I don't regret my 30s, but I might regret some of my 40s because I started acting too damn grown. Your life is meant to just enjoy yourself. That's what this is for. There's a famous quote that talks about that. Life is not about signing up to be a slave because you think someday you'll never have to be a slave. Find ways to enjoy the job you're doing. There are ways to do it. And when you get off of work, no grow no more. Be a teenager. Why do grown-ups we gotta be married? Who said we gotta be married? Like, who said that? Who said that makes us grown? Now we're officially grown together because we're married. We're even more grown. My mother and my stepfather never got married, and they was very happily together. And they had a lot of good times, a lot of fun, until he got really, really sick. And even still, they were dancing all through his house, having dinner dates and just chilling and having fun in his house because he couldn't really travel much due to his organ failure. But so he made the house fun for them too. Bubble baths together and things like that. I recall one time and they was in a bubble bath together. And I felt bad that I interrupted or whatever. But the point that I'm making is enjoying your life is the secret to longevity. Being in our grown-up energy, you know you ain't enjoying it at the end of the day. You know you're like, this is ridiculous. I'm just a full-blown slave. You know you're a slave to your laundry. You're a slave to your housework. Why is that so important? Like, I know people say that's disgusting. See, you're being grown. You're being grown. Why can't you just do laundry one day a week? and let the hamper get full. Why must you be in cleaning energy every day? The new grown-up script is you must clean your house every day. Kids don't even care to clean every day. You got to make them clean every day. Why do we need to clean to be closer to God? Can't cleanliness be within? We are not our environments, but grown-ups love to say we are. I can't enjoy myself because I live in the ghetto. Most people ain't even worried about you in the ghetto unless you owe them some money, or you're trying them, or you're disrespecting them. Like, I'm relearning how to just be in mess. I'm relearning. Like, I could take a whole week just to clean a room that should take only 1 hour to clean. Because that's what a child would do. You would go in there and keep telling your teenager, I said clean this room yesterday. And the teenager will put one bag away. And you go in there 3 days later and finally the room is clean. I want to be back in that energy. I want to have a messy house sometime and other grown-ups come over and they don't got S-H-I-T to say at all. They're not asking me if I'm going through stuff. They're not saying you need some help in here. They're not saying, oh, you live in trifling. Maybe it's not time for me to clean my house. Maybe it's not the cleaning day for me. Why do I have to have a spotless house to have a loyal friend over? If they're loyal, why would they hold it against me? Because grown-ups are fake. The fakest people are grown. And the most untrustworthy and the most critical and judgmental. All thinking we know better for each other. Yet we're all still figuring it out. Figuring things out. How to be kinder and nicer to our energy. A little nicer to our own energy every day. But until we start getting in that flow state more, we really ain't no good for each other. We're just making the grown-up behavior worse. I don't have a problem with sitting in a friend's messy house. I have friends that will tell you in a minute. She sat at my house, I had clothes all over the couch, shoes in the middle of the floor. I don't care. There's no roaches and bugs in there, so I really don't care. And I don't have nothing to say, because that's their flow of their energy. I'm not thinking they're falling behind. I'm not thinking that they need a grown-up to take over. I need to get them a caregiver. I'm not thinking about none of that. I think the very first thing we need to do as grown-ups is stop passively judging each other. We need to look at each other and say, you are allowed to be messy, flawed, unkept, lazy, unorganized, uninterested in grown-up activities, and careless and a little bit reckless and free-spirited. You're allowed to be. We need to say that to each other. We need to say that in our minds before we see each other. You're allowed to not care about more money, more money, more money. There's always a way to get money. There's always a way to get what you need. So we need to just stop obsessing about this money. About more money. You don't got no food. There is food banks you can get food from. There is food banks open every day. Food kitchens you can eat at every day. I remember one time I lost some money. I was on my way home. My daughter was saying she was hungry. I couldn't find the money. I took her right into the food kitchen. And she didn't know she was in the food kitchen. See, ignorance is bliss. She was smiling because she was eating around everybody that was smiling at her, and nice energy and humble energy in there. She was all happy. She felt like she got taken somewhere real special. Little did she know she was in the neighborhood food kitchen. And I'll never forget that moment because it just reminded me how lost our innocence are. How negative you start to think the older you get. She wasn't even worried about she eating a salad and chicken salad around strangers. She wasn't worried about that. It's funny how kids, when they're taken somewhere new, little kids, they're not in the mindset like, is this good enough for me? Is this mature enough for me? They don't think like that. They just think, can I have fun here? Can I enjoy myself here? You know, I miss that energy. I went to the museum on my last vacation, and none of the adults were talking to each other. They were just all sitting there like robots. Even the kids weren't playing with each other. It's like the kids was programmed to not even talk to each other. They was in the same energy that their parents were in, just walking by other kids. And I said, this is sad because the little kids are starting to be 7 years old going on 30. They weren't even saying hi. They weren't even saying hi to each other, or I like your shoes, or is that your doll, or look at this. They wasn't even running up to the glass and talking about what they seeing as if they always knew each other. The kids weren't even in that energy. Grown-ups is starting to be toxic, spiritually toxic to the kids. I'm seeing 18-year-olds, even 15-year-olds out here where I'm at right now, and you would think they're in their 30s, the way they carry themselves, the way they grit on me, the way they act. And it's really shocking. You can't even say to the kids now, go out there and be a kid and go play. They'll look at you like, what are you talking about? I got goals. The 16-year-olds are already saying that. the 12-year-olds are saying that. They're doing their sports like it's a full-time job. They're going to after-school programs over and over and over again, doing what they're doing like it's a full-time job and not even for fun. I don't even see teenagers hanging out the parks no more because they're just in that grind. I need to be grown already energy. I'm waiting to walk past the park and see one group of teenagers turning up or whatever they do. It's going to put a smile on my face like, okay, there's hope. Okay, maybe these teenagers will live to see 65. We got them thinking about time is short. Now they're in that energy. Y'all, it's just wild. Don't nobody even meet to bake. I can't remember the last time somebody said, you want to bake some cookies? Come on over and bake some cookies and have some tea. Nope. I've tried to invite people. Would you like something to drink, some tea or a cookie or whatever? Nah, I'm good. It's like, nope. Nope. I got work to do. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm like, wow. Can't even stand on the porch for 5 minutes and have a Coke with me. You gotta do work because the work you doing out in your house is so important. I must have a young spirit to me because the older adults in my neighborhood just act young. They're always talking to me. Like there's older men that live behind me, but they're like free spirited older men. They be having pool parties, turning up and stuff over there. They're just always outside doing fun activities outside. And whenever I walk by, they always be like, "How you doing?" So I guess they see me dancing in my yard, um, dancing and stuff. I had a couple people on TikTok say, "Oh, sit your old butt down. You're too grown to be dancing on TikTok." And it's like, wow, it's like that. People think you have mental health problems if you dare to don't act your age. You have to act your age now. As if everybody knows my age. Wow. That's like this movie, The Residents, this series, The Residents. I watched this series twice. I'm going to watch it a third time. It's my favorite series because it really reminds me about not being controlled. I don't know if y'all saw the series, but the lady is a detective, and it's funny as hell. And she's not about having her energy controlled. She is a very free-spirited type of woman. Says whatever's on her mind. Very blunt, very, very, very funny. And her energy just reminds me of how it used to be, how grown-ups used to be, where they just went with the flow, I miss knowing grown-ups that was like her. We're so sensitive and so critical. It's just ridiculous. You can't even be free-spirited with other grown-ups. They'll be like, "Oh, you're offending me. You're getting in my way. You're trying to overpower you're competing with my energy." If you dare to be funnier than another grown-up or a little bit more free, if they can't one-up you in it, then you're crossing their boundaries. Then you're attention seeker. You're an attention whore. Like, grown-ups cannot be free-spirited or they are an attention whore. Wow. I'm just done. So, I watched all the Squid Games. Have y'all watched Squid Game? I love Squid Game. Anybody watch the last season? I don't really like the way it ended. It seemed kind of a little predictable. They got some new series on Netflix. You can't even be into movies or films as a grown-up because it's like, ooh, you're wasting your life away. You have grown-ups on YouTube saying, "Don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. I'm too mindful." I'm so exhausted of this. I have to be mindful of everything. It's so ridiculous. I want to get back to the word kicking it. You ever know the phrase kicking it? People don't even kick it anymore. We used to say we kicking it. We be just chilling, having fun, wasting time, wasting our life, what people would consider wasting, kicking it. Now it's like, no, you're not supposed to kick it. You got to hurry up and get you a husband and a wife. No. You're wasting your time. You're kicking it with a friend that probably fake. So, the fact that we're thinking like that is just wow. If you got a friend that's just kicking it with you all the time, that's all she do. Ooh, she's a waste of your time. She should be trying to tell you how to get the bag. She should be trying to tell you how to meet your dream guy. What? That friend is just leeching off your energy. That's what people would say. That's all y'all do is kicking it. Ooh, they wasting your energy and your time. That's what grown-ups say. Wow. Oh, isn't this wild, y'all? One of my favorite shows is going to be, the season's going to be continuing on my birthday. Praise the Most High. Yeah, regular friendship ain't enough no more. Regular relationships ain't enough. You gotta have your man to spend a lot of money on you. You gotta have a ring on it before you even go all in or even really care about the relationship. You can't even bake a man some cookies without a ring on your finger, or else you're acting like a wife. Girl, you in there baking him something, you cooking and cleaning, you treat him like that's your husband. So what if I am? I mean, men still marry women who act like wifey. So I'm trying to understand why why I can't do that. No. I'm trying to also understand why I can't wear inexpensive clothes. Why can't I shop at Route 21? $9.99 stock room. I mean, there's plenty of women that got a man wearing clothes off clearance rack. It's like nowadays, if you want to have a glow up partner, you gotta be able to look expensive. There's literally women on YouTube saying how to look expensive. I'm like, this is what it's come down to. This is what it's come down to. People are being taught how to look expensive. I mean, are you entertaining? No, so I don't really give a damn how expensive you look. No one cares about being entertaining. No one even sees that as a superpower. The new entertainment is intelligence. But there's other types of entertainment other than intelligence. I had a family member bring me ice cream. They said, I got upset. I said, you know why I got upset? Because ain't nothing like us going to get ice cream together. Why can't we go have ice cream together? Why can't we go to Dairy Queen? Why do treats gotta be brought as a grocery list? Why does it have to be on the grocery list? Why can't we go out for treats? Know why we can't go out for treats? Know why your siblings and friends don't want to go out for treats? Because they're so worried that they're not keeping up with other grown-ups. That they might go in a Dairy Queen and other people will look like they got it better. They got a better car, they're dressing better, and they're like, I'm not going to be able to enjoy my ice cream cone if I see that. And it's like, why can't you just enjoy your ice cream cone looking at me, I'm looking at you? What does it matter? We're here for the ice cream, not to see how we're keeping up in the grown-up game. But people are so paranoid about looking like a grown-up failure that they don't even want to go out for ice cream. Or they use their kids as a cover. Well, I can be able to deal with it as long as I got kids with me. Hey, honey, how about me, you, and the kids go get ice cream? And I'm like, do you and your man ever just go get ice cream? Like, do y'all just go to the drive-through ice cream? It's wild, y'all. I see 20-year-olds going to IHOP, but the grown-ups is like, I'm going through drive-through. I'm good. Unless they're dressed in their suits and they're on their way to work. Well, I can go into IHOP now because I have a suit on. Well, I could go into IHOP now because I have my business manager outfit on. So I'll look really like I got it together going into IHOP in the morning for my coffee and my donut. I used to be in that energy, so I know. I used to be assistant director. So I used to be in that exact energy. And then I met two girls who worked under me, and they started saying, well, why don't we just hang out and why don't we just go to just go? You know, like even when we're not at work. And it had a whole different feel to it. I just don't know what, I just don't know. You would have thought that 2020 would have helped us. You know, that would have gave us some common sense that we were all starting to act too grown. But I guess it just got worse. When people were in the shutdown, they were sinking deeper into the grown up energy obsession. So they just couldn't wait to get out of shutdown and show how grown they are. They just couldn't wait. I'm gonna show how everybody how I'm not trying to have one season of being chubby. How I'm gonna protect my energy until I get it all done. I'm gonna show how everybody I'm in that energy. It cracked me up when I hear people on YouTube say, I roll solo because I can only climb alone. Knowing damn well once they're done climbing, they're going to want to see people because they're going to be like, they think they can protect their self-esteem. When they look even more pathetic because you need to hide away to achieve it. You're so afraid that everyone's going to see, there's something to say. Why do you care? Why do grown-ups give other strange grown-ups so much power over them? Random grown-ups literally have power over other random grown-ups. And that is just so scary. Because kids don't have power over other kids. 2-year-olds will fight to the death until the parents come up and break it up. A 2-year-old tell another 2-year-old, you can't do this. That 2-year-old will be like, shut up, yes I can. It's like the closer we get to grown-up energy, the more we be like, okay, well, you said what you said. Maybe I can. Or I need to do it in secret because you're saying that I can't. The more we get older, we get in that energy. I remember my daughter as a 2-year-old. This other little 2-year-old said something to her and smart, and the 2-year-old said, the little taller said, I'll punch you in your mouth. I don't know who taught that 2-year-old to say that, but my toddler daughter was like, why don't you come over and do it? And I said, did my daughter actually say that? And the teacher was like, yes, she did. And I started to realize just how different kids are when they're not so guarded by our grown-up energy. That they're like way more free-spirited than we think they are. Because I swear, I don't know how, my daughter never showed any type of like, I don't care what happens type of attitude. She never showed that attitude at home. But that just goes to show that grown-ups or any grown-up energy it can come off like warden energy. Even to little kids. And I think she thought she was going to be in trouble. And she was like kind of snapping out on the way home. She thought she was going to get in trouble. Punishment or time out when she got home. I said, you're not in trouble. So just calm down. I'm not going to get on you for saying what she said. She said what she said. You said what you said. And yeah, y'all was fighting. They got in the actual physical altercation afterwards. But I told her, I said, well, it's over. The fight's over. You're not in trouble. You stood up for yourself. So that's it. And I just remember after that, she was more being a kid where they have fights and they deal with it, you know. But grown-ups is like this. No, you don't fight. You don't say nothing smart. You just ignore them. You walk away. You don't stand up for yourself. You just get your coffee in the gas station and run to your car. And avoid people. Avoid people at all costs. It is so wild, y'all. It's so toxic. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna head on out. Ooh. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna do a part 2 of this video. Bye, everybody.